Hey, what's up, guys? Kurt Stubbs here with the drive to Dayton. As you can see, I am solo today. My cohorts are off this week. I gave them the week off, but it's a short week. We had the holiday on Monday. TJ is a little under the weather, and Mike spent all day Tuesday at Harvest Prep, so we weren't able to record. But we'll be back full go next Monday. God willing, we'll have it edited and out by Tuesday. Now, this is, for those of you that saw the first version of this, this is the edited version of the first version. What happened was I was putting together my sheets, and the team that was supposed to be the fifth team actually ended up being a team from Division 3, and the team that was supposed to be the fifth team ended up in Division 4, ended up getting left off the entire video, which this team, when we talk about them, there's no way that we could leave this team off of the not only the 18 but the top 5. They have one of the 2 or 3 best wins of the month of December. We'll also include the first couple of days of early January. So we're going to take a look at the 5 teams that we think in Division 4 only, that had the best month of December and first couple of days of January. Signature wins, things like that. Then we're going to take a look at 18 more teams that we think are really good, that are just we're just waiting to see them get that signature win, and those teams are going to have a lot of opportunities to do so in the next couple of months. So let's get this started, and we'll start with the obvious, Richmond Heights. Now, to their standard, they did not have a great month of December. But just like in school, we're kind of grading Richmond Heights on a little bit of a different scale because nobody is playing that type of schedule. So when you look at the losses from Richmond Heights, you got a neutral site loss to Newport. The very next night, they lose at Reynoldsburg. They also dropped 2 games at the prestigious City of Palms tournament in Fort Myers. They lost to IMG Academy in North Mecklenburg out of North Carolina. They lost a very high-profile game here in Ohio at unbeaten Garfield Heights, 60-57. And then they lost to St. Joe's Prep out of Philly. So those are the 6 losses. But there's no way we could keep the Spartans off this list. They have 2 wins that are better than any 2 wins that any other Division 4 team has. Back-to-back nights, neutral site games for both. They beat Cleveland St. Ignatius, who is definitely a team that could cut the nets down in Division 1. And then they beat Pickerington Central the very next night. They traveled down to Columbus and beat them at Capitol going away. So cannot leave Richmond Heights off the December list because those 2 wins trump just about anything. All right, the second team we're going to mention is the Russia Raiders. This is a team that was in the state semifinals a year ago. Russia actually gave Richmond Heights all it wanted in that state semifinal game for about 3 quarters. For the majority of 3 quarters last year's state semifinal game at UD Arena. So they have a neutral site win over Troy Christian. And then Tuesday night, they were trailing at the end of the 3rd quarter at previously unbeaten Botkins. That was a conference game. And then came back to win. So it was great to see them show that resolve and come back and win that game. So Russia is the second team I have listed. The third team is the team that I left off in the first video, and that was just a major blunder by me. And that would be Lima Central Catholic, who is currently undefeated. Sean Powell is the head coach there now, first year. He won a state championship at Botkins in 2021. And LCC is 7-0. They got 2 wins over Lima Shawnee, and then the signature one over Ottawa Glandorf, 56-54. That game was at LCC. The fourth team I want to mention is Warren JFK. I think any other year they're the representative of Northeast Ohio in Division 4. They have a win over the defending Division 1 state champ, Akron Hoban. They have a win over Mooney. They have a win over Boardman. So Warren JFK is the fourth team on that list. And then the other team, that fifth spot was tough. I went with Maumee Valley Country Day. They have a really nice win over at Toledo Christian. Then they have a win over Division I Chillicothe. So I put Maumee Valley Country Day in that fifth spot there for December. These are all 5 teams that we're going to talk a lot about throughout the season. These are all 5 teams that are going to be there, in my opinion, in late March. So we'll have plenty of time to talk more about these teams. So those are my 5 teams in Division 4 that we think, or I think, had the best month of December. Now let's look at some other teams that, and this is in no particular order, that I think are really good teams. Just waiting for them to get the win or two that I'm looking for to move them up that list. Botkins is 6-1. We mentioned them. They have a nice win at Jackson Center. The loss to Russia. Cedarville is 8-1. They have wins over Greenview and Southeastern. Their only loss is the unbeaten Leesburg Fairfield. That game was at Fairfield. Troy Christian is another team I think is really good. Their only loss, they got beat pretty good there by Russia, but I think they're still a really good team. They have wins at Miami East, at Northridge, and Piqua. Piqua doesn't have a great record, but still a bigger school. Lehman Catholic, jury's still out there. They're 7-1. Don't really have a great win. Only loss was at Miami East. Berlin Highland, that's a team to keep an eye on. They're 6-2. They just got their best player, Sammy Detweiler, back, leading scorer from last year. So Highland has wins over Spire, Worcester Triway. They have a win over rival Garaway, rival Sandy Valley, and then a nice win over University School. Their only 2 losses were at Dover, 42-38. That was without Detweiler. And then Sammy played against Lutheran East, and they lost that game 52-42. So keep an eye on Mark Schlabach's Hawks for sure. Monroe Central, another team from the East District, 9-0. They really only have one, I would say, quality win over a big school West Virginia team, Brook. That was a nice win. Leesburg Fairfield, undefeated, got a nice win over Cedarville. They've got some games like North Adams is a game, a Division III team that I'm looking at that to see, kind of where Fairfield is at. South Webster, Norm Person, first year with the Jeeps, 9-0. 2 really good wins here recently against Fairland and Benton County. So the Jeeps have a really tough conference schedule. The second half of their slate is really difficult, so we're going to know a lot more about them. Eli Roberts is having a sensational junior season, so keep an eye on Storm and Norman's Jeeps. Delphi St. John's at Convoy Crestview was a really nice win. Their only loss was to Elida, 54-47. Obviously, Elwer, sophomore, is extremely talented, so keep an eye on the Blue Jays out of the Midwest Athletic Conference. Toledo Christian, another really good team. They have a win at Miller City, which was a good win. They beat Old Fort. Only loss was to Maumee Valley Country Day. That was one of our 5. And that was only 63-57. That was at home, though. Also, Antwerp, 8-0. They have a nice win at Ottoville, but they have some games coming up where we're going to be able to tell a lot more about Antwerp. Pandora Gilboa, another team, 8-0. Got a nice win over Leipzig and then at Patrick Henry. Looking to see some more from Pandora. I think they're really good, but looking to see more from the Rockets here in the coming weeks. Convoy Crestview is 7-3. They have overtime wins over Miller City and Wayne Trace, and then a win at Shawnee and a win at home against Parkway. Their losses are to Spencerville, Delphi St. John's, and then at Ottoville. So Convoy Crestview is 7-3. They definitely got the size with Sheets. We'll see how they evolve in the next month or so. Marion Local is a team that struggled to start, and I would assume a lot of that was due to the football success, another Division State 7 state championship. They are 3-3. They just got a nice win over Division 1 Wapakoneta. Their losses are at St. Mary's, Anna, and St. Henry. But I think Marion Local's best basketball will be played here in January and February. Miller City, another team to keep an eye on in Division 4. They're 7-2. They got a win over Patrick Henry and at Leipzig. Their only losses are to Convoy Crestview in overtime and Toledo Christian. Ottoville, again, another Putnam County team, has wins at New Bremen, Convoy Crestview, and Columbus Grove. Their only loss, 4-point loss to Antwerp, and then they lost to Spencerville as well. Patrick Henry. This is a team that a lot of people, myself included, had this team as a definite top 10 team in Division 4 returning. And I'm still not selling my stock in Patrick Henry. They're 1-4. They did make the state semifinals in football in Division 7, lost to Marion Local. A lot of those players were on that football team, including Nash Meyer, who was their second leading scorer last year on their regional team, and he's out for the year with a football injury. But they do have Lincoln Krieger back and some other nice pieces. The coach's son is a sophomore, about 6'4", 6'5". So I think Patrick Henry is going to get better and better, and I think they're going to be a problem come tournament time, even though they're 1-4 right now. Cornerstone Christian, they're 2-5. I put them on this list because Quinn Kwasniak, Division 4, averaging 34.5 a game. They score a ton of points. As I said, they're only 2-5. But you look at they've lost to Glenville, Open Door, Cleveland Shaw, Wayne Memorial out of Michigan, and then Youngstown East. They do score a lot of points, but they give up a lot of points. But still going to be an interesting team, I think, in Division 4 come tournament time. So that's our Fab Five. Just to recap those teams, we had Richmond Heights, Russia, Lima Central Catholic, Warren JFK, and Maumee Valley Country Day. And then we listed about 18 other teams there for you. Look forward to doing this at the end of January and see what's the same, what's different, where we're right, where we're wrong. So hopefully you guys enjoy this edited version of the video now that we have it correct. And we'll be back with a full episode, jam-packed next Monday, edited, and then hopefully out by Tuesday. So everybody have a great rest of your week here from the drive to Dayton.